That would be awesome. But if they don't, my standpoint, my viewpoint is responsibility. You can make it if you decide to make it. And I listened to our brother over here, and I agree with a lot that he said, but I don't agree that prosperity financially is the total problem solving to what we have going on with the black community. Money is not just going to solve the problem. It's going to have to be a whole mindset change because the black man has to understand responsibility and have vision. Just giving them money and money in their pockets doesn't make them love their wives. It doesn't make them care for their children. It doesn't make them all of those things that those kids need to come up and so they're mentally stable when they're grown and know how to pass that on. We have to stop passing down what hasn't been working for generation to generation to generation. That has to stop. And I come from a place of poverty, very, very, very strict poverty. Didn't have anything. My dad had first grade education is all he had. I had to teach him how to write his name. But he had 8 kids, and he took care of all of them. He didn't wait for anybody to give him a job. He went out and he figured out how to make a living for his wife and his kids. And he farmed, he did various things. But he didn't just sit at home and say, nobody won't give me a job, so, government got to do it for it. So I learned back from my father that I don't have to wait on somebody to give me something for me to be successful. It was a choice. And so if you look at where I was and look at where I am today, you could never, I couldn't even believe that I would be where I am today from where I started from. But it was only a personal decision that I made that I was not gonna be the labeled black man. I was not gonna be the stereotype. I was not gonna just settle and say, that's too hard, or they won't do this for me, or they didn't do this for me, and blame everybody else. I looked at what can I do, and I did it, and then I passed that on to my children. And so that's how I see it.
Well, I would say this. I would say that the idea of vision is something that we see in a lot of other communities. You see that in Jewish community, the Mexican community, you see that in the Asian communities, you see it in a lot of communities. So for our entrepreneur part of the group, where did you get your vision, and how do you think that other young black men or aspiring black children can find that vision within their communities? Do you feel like our communities worship people who are entrepreneurs like we worship their local business owners?
No, I don't think they worship entrepreneurs or local business owners. But I know this is fact. The biggest way to create wealth is actually to own your own business. The fastest way to wealth creation is to own your own business. We are living now in the 4th industrial revolution, which is essentially sweeping by us because we're not actually grabbing it. Technology, and I'll emphasize this because I've seen what it's done to people around me and to me in particular, but to people around me. It is one that could help a lot of people. I understand, and just to your earlier question, the government can help. The problem with our community is we keep waiting for the government to come and help.
Yes.
Technology helps a lot. Where technology has become, more than all of the other 3 industrial revolutions, technology has become the one that's most disruptive. Such that you could start anything in your garage. You could start something, find something that the community likes, and you can become, the purveyor. You can set up an app that becomes, a hit. And the first one doesn't work, the second one doesn't work, the third one will work. It's the biggest lifter of economic power that there has ever been. My issue, though, with our community is that we're not embracing it as much as we can. And until we wait for a big government program to come in from on high and just say, hey, here's money, let's spread it out and then we go find. No, money doesn't create. Money doesn't give you creativity. Money can enhance it. Start that a bit, start in a very small way. The way that I've done it is starting in very small ways. It's finding the niche, figuring out something, getting into an ecosystem that maybe can support it. Getting into a network that starts to understand what you bring to the table. But it is inherently in everyone to push that boundary, push that envelope. I don't think that time is running out for us because we need to get on the bandwagon of technology and make sure that, and that's why my organization supports the kids getting into STEM, getting into science, technology, math, and all those subjects to help them get into technology. Because I know once you do, the average salary in technology with any entry-level technology job is about $100,000. It is more than the average family income by far of most black families. And this is one person making that, and all they have to do is just stick it out, and then eventually start your own business. I know that the economic power doesn't solve all problems for our community, but I also know that without the power of the economy, that you cannot solve a lot of problems. You cannot even start to solve most of them. So let's be focused on how do we take advantage of what's happening today within our own ecosphere that we can see, figure out how we can do it, and then look for government to come and help us, or look for all sorts of financing that's available now, actually targeting minorities. That would actually be very helpful. There's so many people. So I started in technology in 94. So very long time. Then I was always almost the only person in the room that looked like me. Today, you have so many very successful black men and women that are in technology that are also trying to do a lot. Robert Smith just gave, paid off the student loan for all of Howard University's last year class. He started like that, and then became a billionaire doing that. Tech can transfer you today from a nobody to a $1 billion, person. We need to embrace that, and the only way you embrace it is by is by teaching young people to get into science, and then teaching them now to see the benefits of technology, and embracing that and seeing that they cannot be deadlocked and locked into what they see within the community. They can get out of it.
Taking that leap, I like the concept that you talked about how black men just need to take that leap, that you have to kind of put into your calculations that you're most likely going to fail, that you're not going to get your immediate success off of your first product or even your second product. And it's an interesting concept because I believe that black men within communities in general, they're afraid to take that leap. I actually asked around where do you feel like that kind of fear is coming from, to take the leap, to try doing something different. You look at yourself. You took the leap and you jumped into YouTube. You took the risk and it paid off. So why do we see less of a willingness to take a leap from black communities compared to other communities?
Well, I'll go back to the main thing that we're talking about, no dads. A lot of these guys are really scared their own shadow. You see them walking around, they talk, they got the mean look on their face, but the reality is they're very scared. They're very afraid. A lot of them, if you run up on them by themselves, they're kind of back away. That's why they get into games, because as a group, they feel more empowered. They feel like they have more security that way. But by themselves, they're insecure and they're afraid. So to go out and do something like that, take that kind of risk, they would never do it. They're just afraid. They're afraid. They're afraid to go out and try to do a job they've not done before. It's all about fear at the end of the day. So I think if we get that family back together, you have dads that will take their little boys and go out and shoot, go out and hunt, go out and do basic things like that, that would reduce that level of fear in the boys and in the black community in general. And as my man, Mr. Taylor, you have children, correct? Now, what do you teach them that's different than what they may learn in school? Are they in public, private? Like, how do you get your children prepared for the world so they won't have that fear in the heart?
Well, my children, my wife and I, we start with the basics of the foundation of God. And we instill in them the values of Christianity and the Bible. And we involve every other area of subject around God. And we show them that how success works, not to be afraid that we don't teach our children that you're black and you're inferior and somebody else is different than you and they're more, they don't even, that discussion doesn't happen. You can do whatever you want to do. You can be whatever you want to be. You're just as this equal or prepared or as valuable or whatever other word you want to use as a white person. And so our children are not surrounded by the negativity that people pass on. Like I say, you pass on from generation to generation to generation. We're not passing that on to our children. We're teaching them, start from here. You can do it. You can practice it. Nobody's stopping you. And I think what we need to do is be openly honest and make black men uncomfortable, not fulfilling their roles. Not just talking over the surface of it and saying, the opportunities to give them, all opportunities to give them. Make them uncomfortable not succeeding. Make them uncomfortable depending on the women. Make them uncomfortable not taking care of their children. That's where we need to start, because that's what's happening out there. And is it happening in my family? I got a huge family, and I see it every day with my uncles, my brothers, and cousins. They are comfortable not taking care of their family. They're comfortable living the way they live. I was in high school, and we talked about what we're gonna do when we graduate. And it was some of my classmates, their goal in life was to move to the projects, get on welfare. And they're doing that today. That was their vision in life. We gotta make them uncomfortable.
I agree with you on that 100%. Now, only I gotta ask you, what he was talking about, I think that's about low expectations in the black community. You feel like, okay, we're gonna go to the projects, live really on the lowest level possible. How do we raise expectations in the black community so we can do better in life rather than just being comfortable with living on the lowest level possible?
So I actually think that that's happening already. I think that, our generation, and I'll say our generation, probably older than you, that our generation maybe felt that way. I think that when you look at the younger generation today, most know and don't feel, they feel like they should have goals. They feel like they should aspire to do more. There is a lot more that's happening. The world has gotten smaller because of the internet.
Yeah.
And we could actually do a lot. I mean, you're a good example, YouTube, that you can, get out and reach so many people like that. And I'm thinking I'm going to go to the projects and just, collect, welfare checks.
That's right.
Yeah, so I do see a lot of that happening, but, what's one, this is a very gradual process. So it took a long time for this to happen. It would take a long time to solve it. But what I believe is in meaningful progress. We need to be able to measure the progress that we're having, make sure that things are working the way we think they should work, and then do more of those. And I'll come back again to the little examples that people do. This woman that essentially started, Saturday Academy for these girls, and it became something big. Things like that. We should, each and every one of us, try to do some of that every day. I believe that it will probably be a fool's errand, to go to the projects, talk to, folks that you're addressing, and then go and say, okay, you know what? You have to get off of welfare and get to, find a kid and get to work. No, I think it'll be a waste of effort and time. But I think, though, that they could learn from the new generation of what they're doing. Let's spend the time on the new generation so that in 20 years, in 30 years, in 40 years, we're not talking about the same thing we're talking about today. That is where we have it stopped in reverse. So I don't see it as a problem, and I think that what I take upon myself to do is try to make incremental progress
in the ways and the lives of our Black community. It could be small, it could be big, it could be, be pointing to an organization that does it. It could also be mentor a kid. It could be bringing interns from, into my company, so they can actually see how, technology works and why they should aspire to get the job, because of, the things that people will tell them and the things they see. So I don't believe it's incremental steps, but I think we all should be doing it. And I don't think we do enough of it.
I agree. Say it.
Well, it seems to me like